And when you guys comment, make sure you guys are commenting to all panelists and attendees. Make sure you change that little link to go there. Now, here's what's funny. I paid an extra $400 to be able to have over 500 participants, and it looks like we had 100 people drop off from yesterday. I made a very specific point yesterday. Here we go. All right. I made a very good point yesterday, and I said 500 people who are here, only about 80 of you are going to do anything. I want you guys to notice we're at about 400 people exactly now today, which means that 100 people who were here yesterday decided not to come today. Maybe they got busy, understand, but there was a lot of people who couldn't get in yesterday who still aren't coming today. So I want you guys to think about that as you go through the steps of doing this. You're talking about, everybody's going to be thinking, well, there's a lot of people doing this. So many people are not actually following through with a lot of this, right? And so what I mean by that is you guys have a really great advantage if you actually take action, okay? If you actually do this stuff, you have a great advantage because out of 400 people who are here, only 60 to 80, 100 people might actually do what we were saying we needed to do, okay? So there's an attrition to all this. Some people are going to be learning one little technique from this whole training and using that and being happy with this training, which I think is great. And maybe not going through everything else. But those of you guys that take action and do all of this, you're in a much better scenario. So let's talk a little bit about the recap from yesterday. So our number one goal is to be able to get momentum, build an audience, right? So we talked about this in the beginning, is like build an audience, then we want to build that list, and then we want to monetize that list. So throughout the 5 days, it's kind of what we're going to be talking about. Every step has a monetization step in it, right? But the main point is really to get your audience, because if you have an audience, you can always make money. What I want you guys to imagine is that the end game for you, is not making money this week. Okay. It's not making money in a week from now. It's the ability to command attention so that you can make money whenever you have to in the future. I always love telling this story because I think it really resonates with a lot of people. This was years ago, 6 years ago, I think. I was on my honeymoon. And we went on our honeymoon to Anguilla. And we were thinking about staying longer. And I was like, well, I don't know. I got to get back to work because I ran my own digital marketing business at that point, mostly just doing email marketing. And I said, here's the deal. If I can send an email to my list, and at the time I was struggling with getting my emails delivered. It was kind of a rough thing. I just switched to a new platform. So this was going to be the first email that I sent from this new email platform with my list. Now, I had nothing else going on, and I had just spent 7 days in Anguilla, like not doing much work at all. And I said, here's what I'm going to do. If I can make more than, it was like, I don't know, like $3,000 to stay at this hotel for an extra 3 days. So I was like, if I can make an extra $3,000 today by sending this email or off of this email, then we'll stay. And it was one of the coolest things. I remember waking up, and my wife at that point, we had been together for about a year. So it was still kind of new to her that this was all reality. And I remember I was like, all right. So I got up, I found an offer that I wanted to promote, and I promoted it as an affiliate. I promoted somebody else's offer. Now, what I was promoting was something called CPA, which is cost per acquisition. The difference between a true affiliate network and a CPA network, affiliate networks like, promoting Chatmatic, for instance, or promoting Groove. If somebody refunds that offer, you lose that commission, right? That's an affiliate. You're a partner of theirs. So you get people to buy their offer. If somebody buys, you get 40% of everything that they buy. Or if they refund, you lose that money. CPA is different. CPA says, okay, I've got this great offer. Let's say it's an offer that sells a $29 thing, but then the upsell is $197, and then another upsell at $299. And then they have a coaching program that's $3,000 or $10,000 or whatever. So they do the math and they say, well, we can profit if we pay $60 on that $29 sale. So we're going to give you $60 no matter what. If the person refunds, doesn't matter. But you get no commission on upsell. You get no recurring commission. You get no commission on the coaching. That's all our money, right? So we're going to pay you more to generate a front end sale. And so I promoted a CPA offer, which had a $49 product that paid like $90, I want to say it was. And that day, within 24 hours, I'd made $9,800 from mailing them my list. And my list at the time was 244,000 people. It was phenomenal. And so I was like, well, it looks like we're staying more than 3 days or whatever it was. We didn't. We stayed a total of, I think, 10 days in Anguilla, but it was phenomenal. But the reason I like telling that story, especially to you guys, based on where you're probably at right now, is the goal is not make money right now. If I had only focused on monetizing the relationships that I was building as I was building them, I wouldn't have had a good enough relationship to be able to send them an email and make money off of that same list in the future. Can I get a yes for everybody who understands that? Like, building the list is the most important asset. It's the most important aspect of what we're doing. It's not monetizing right now, because a lot of you forget we just passed Black Friday. If you had a nice list of 10,000 people and promoted my Black Friday offer, we didn't have one, but if we did, you'd make a lot more money than if you just tried to slam them over the head right now with offers. The thing you want to do right now is you want to generate a need in their life for you. And I think a lot of people really overestimate what that means. There's a lot of people that at this point, and it's almost strange thinking about this. There's a lot of people at this point who have a need for me in their life. It's not like a need. I guess it's more of a want. They actually want me to like talk to them, to show them stuff, to train them, right? All of you guys who are here, you have a desire to hear something that you didn't know before. Okay. And you can create that in other people. There are millions of people that have no idea what they can do with Messenger, and you can show them that. They have no idea what they can do with promoting Groove, and you can show them that. I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but I actually funnel hacked a few of you guys yesterday. Some of your Messenger bots, I actually went through them as I was seeing things happen. So I'm a big junkie on this stuff. I noticed a couple of people changing their profile pictures. So I went to their profile picture and I went through their bot sequences to see what they had done, and to go through their agenda. And I want to point out one person, Paige Batcher. I want to point this out. This is a really interesting one, because Paige, what's up? So Paige has changed her profile. I don't know if she did this yesterday, but she did have, she had an m.me link in her profile link. So she did what we taught yesterday, which is great. Paige, I'm curious, how many subscribers did you get? Did you get any aside from me when you changed your profile picture, your profile banner? 3 people went through automatically. I also noticed, Paige, that you changed your group cover image. One suggestion for you: your group cover also should have the same little click here button, also should have a description. I noticed that you already had 3 people in your group like your group cover photo, but there's no link in the description of that group cover photo. So that's lost potential Messenger leads that you could have had. So this is the stuff that I want you guys to contemplate as you're going through. Where am I interacting with people? All I've done is created essentially a sequence of like, here's all these places that you're going to be interacting with people. Let's allow the person who's maybe not there right now, but they're going to come in a week, they're going to come in 2 weeks. Let's allow them to get back in our bot without having to be like, oh, one of the assumptions that we make is because we post our content all over the internet, right? And we assume when somebody comes to our path, oh, they must have already seen all my content because it's all over the internet. They're not doing that much research on you, right? They're not going to go through all of your past posts and go through all your cool stuff. So you've got to consistently re-show that information. And Paige, I want to ask, because I funnel hacked Paige, and I hope that nobody here, or Paige, you can actually make sure when you comment to all panelists and attendees so that everybody else can see your stuff. Because what I want to do is I want to quickly give you a little, like go through your group real fast so that I can explain what you're doing in your group that I like, what I would suggest to potentially improve that goes along with what we did yesterday. Okay, so you said nice, absolutely. So I want to do that real quick. Let me log into Facebook. Well, that's how we're going to start. Actually, that wasn't how I was planning on starting, but I want to give you guys this nice, like, sort of tied up. Okay, cool. So here's what Paige is doing. She changed her m.me link on her profile banner to announce to everybody, like, this is my thing. And she has them go into Messenger. Then you confirm your email address, and then she invites you to her group. I love this tactic. I don't talk about it as much because most of you don't have a group and you don't know what you want to do your group on. I think the people who are going to have the most success are the ones who have a group and the ones who post in that group. So I specifically wanted to call Paige out / not call her out, but like use her as an example, because I know she's about to kill it with this idea, because she's already shown me that she's got it. I'm about to share my screen, but for some reason I can't get Facebook to load. So hold on one second as I try to do that. Yeah, this is strange. I need to log in from, let me try it. Switching my account. So the reason that it's really important that you guys understand, the reason that I think groups are going to kill it is because I've got a lot of secrets that you can do in a group, and I'm going to show you guys this. But let me do, okay, so I'm in here. All right. Join the group. I'm actually clicking the link from the m.me link here. Here we go. Sonia said, I started a group when I started Groove, so now I'm going to bring Chatmatic into it. Perfect. So let me just show you guys what Paige has going on, some suggestions for you guys if you're totally suggest that you create a group, but some suggestions for you guys as to how this is going to also get people into our bot. Silva said our group's better than a page. That depends on what you're asking. You have to have a page to run the bots, right? That's how we collect our subscribers, is through the page. The group allows us to get people into our sphere of influence so that we can consistently post in that group and they see more from us. We're building that tribe. I'm gonna not necessarily give you suggestions, Paige, on like how to grow your group, although I think this will grow your group. But this is the group. You can see here it's the Kismet Collective, Mindful Design and Automations for Entrepreneurs, which I love that. It gives you a wide net, so you can talk about a lot of different things. Now, for sure, give everybody who's in the group. So remember, this is my first time going to the group. I get to the group, give me like a thing right here, right? This is a good option. Have it at the top of the group so that when I click on this, there should be a description, and I can see 31 people have already seen this post, which means that that's potentially 3 or 4 more subscribers that you didn't get by not having a link, which is fine. Number 2, and this is a very big one, guys. I want all of you guys to really focus on this because we're going to be talking about this in groups. This is not only in your groups, but this is how you should understand what's happening in other groups. Okay. So Paige, the first thing that you need to do right now is go to your fan page. Okay. Go to your fan page, which I believe that's your fan page, which is great. You're managing. No, that's your personal page. You can have a business entity manage your page. I see that you're here as that's your page. All of your posts, I'm going to give you a huge tip right here. When you go to post in a group, let me show you an example of mine real quick. When you're going to post in your own group, if you selected that you're an admin of the group, your page, which you do that in your page settings, you go to page settings, you go to groups, and you link a group to your fan page. Okay. If it's your group, you can do this. This is amazing. Now watch what happens when I go to Chatmatic, for instance. If I want to make a post, I'm up here. Notice, like, look right here. This is my profile picture for my fan page. So I'm automatically promoting my fan page every single time that I make a post on Facebook in my group. You guys see what I'm saying? Like up here on the right, I can actually choose who I'm interacting as. Right now, I'm interacting as my fan page. I could interact as Chatmatic, or I could interact as my personal account. That just means that it gives me a little bit of a different rule. Okay. A little bit of a different rule set. This is one of the reasons I think having a group is insanely valuable, because watch what I'm about to do. Paige, you probably never even saw this, but this is amazing. if you make posts as your fan page, that also means that every single commenter, you can send them a private message in your group. But again, it has to be from a page that you manage. It cannot be personal. So watch, I can literally go right here. This is not as bad as the one on page 47 message. I can send Al a comment right now. It's going to send him a private message. What I do is I use this technique in my own group. So I drive people into my bot. I invite them into my group. From there, notice here, this is a different fan page of mine, Travis Scott Stevenson. Now watch. I make posts in this group offering free cool stuff. Massive giveaway, right? Free access to Chatmatic, yada, yada, yada. Comment below. What happens is people go on this post, they comment, and I can now send them a message. The message that I send them is the m.me link that invites them to whatever my giveaway is, right? So you can actually run these giveaways, keeping your group massively active. Look at this, 170 comments. I said, if I had a 36-page PDF showing you exactly how to create a profitable messenger ad in 20 minutes, would you want it? Everybody said yes. I can literally go right from there and I can message that person. Now, you can't message them outside of 7 days. So you can see right here, you cannot send a message in response to comments posted more than 7 days ago. So you comment same day. I could have a little message to them right here. And what I would do is I would send them to my m.me link. Now, I'll show you guys a live example of this. Watch this. I wrote a 60-plus page book that outlines all of my best campaigns and gives you free access to Chatmatic. All right, so what I'm going to do here. Now, notice what I'm doing is I'm making a post. Now, Catherine, good question. Can we use a comment trigger for that? I'm working on it with Facebook. Right now, it doesn't recognize the post that your fan page makes in a group. It only recognizes posts that you make on your page. I'm working with them to open that up for me. We might have it, the private reply function for posts that your page make in a group. We might have that soon. We don't have it now. For now, though, check this out. I'm literally just going to give away free content right here. I wrote a 60-plus page book that outlines all of my best campaigns and gives you free access to Chatmatic. Do you want the book free? Post. Notice I didn't ask for comments. They're going to comment naturally, yes, I want it. What I can then do is every single person who comments, I can send them my m.me link that I made yesterday. Everybody give me a yes if you understand that. That's step one for why it's so important to have your own group, because now I can actually continuously bring them into my messenger fold. I don't have to worry about, here's the problem. I could post the link in my post itself, right? Facebook would deprioritize that because it's got a link that sends people outside of Facebook, right? So I can get more virality by getting more comments, getting more engagement on my post in my group, getting more comments, getting people more active in my group. And now watch, here's what's cool. I make that post. I now go to my member requests. I'm going to approve all of these members. All 47 of these people are going to see my latest post essentially right now, because now they're going to see it in their newsfeed. That's how Facebook does it. It's like, oh, hey, you were just approved to this group. Here you go. So let's just see. I don't know if anybody has commented yet. I wouldn't expect yet. No post reach yet. But notice my group is simple. It's just called Bots in Business. It's a very simple concept where everybody who comes in here knows I'm going to help you with bots and business content, right? Now, Paige, give me a 2 if you're ready to hear the second suggestion that I have for you. That's the most important one for your group. Okay. So if we go back to Paige's group, the first post in her group is from her personal page, which is fine. She now knows she can change that, but it's also an image and it says, welcome, start here. Here's my suggestion. This only has 30 people seen, which is great, but that's a majority of your group. It's about a quarter of your group right now. Watch. What I did was, number one, If you post as your business page and you post a video, just like yesterday, I can now take an audience of everybody who's watched that video, which is going to be a majority of the people who are in this group. Does that make sense? Give me a yes if you guys understand that. The first thing everybody sees when they join the group is my welcome video. So now I can make an audience of those people. Now, sometimes it doesn't let you choose this video. So the workaround for that would be to post your welcome video to your fan page, share it into your group, and then make that your pinned post. This also has worked for me, but I've noticed a handful of people that it hasn't worked for in the past. So this is how we start building our audience. Now, think about this. Again, let's just go through some of the nuance, and then I want to come back and talk to you guys a little bit about our agenda for today. This is one of the reasons that I think groups are so important. Okay. Everybody who comes into my bot, at some point, I usually invite them to this group. Why do I do that? Because it's a free community where you can learn more about what we're doing. And then I share basically all of the stuff that I do into this group. And you notice it's mostly just me posting, but I try to give good value. I try to share videos. Like you can see, I gave away a free messenger template here. Here's another example, by the way, of a phenomenal way to engage your group. If you notice here, I made a little video that shows an outline of a template. Okay. Steve said, how can we do a welcome video if we're not as good looking as you? Notice, I appreciate the compliment, but notice I'm not actually in my video, my welcome video. So it's just a video of things. So have one made, find somebody on Fiverr who can make one. I'll come back to that. Now, I made this little video right here, little meme style video that says comment below, right? Now we know, because Chatmatic allows us to do private replies, that anybody who comments on this actual post could get a message. Now watch how that works. When they click on the video to expand it, if they comment on this post, see, this is now from my fan page. If they comment on this one, they can get a private reply. Okay. That's why it says comment below on this video. What I did was I posted that on my fan page, shared it into my group, because look how many people commented on it, right? 101 people commented on it. They're not going to get a private message by commenting on the group post. They would get it if they commented on the actual post. But what does it allow me to do? Actually, Rob, who I'm sure you're here, just commented on it. What it does allow me to do is retarget to them, because I can create an audience of people that obviously brings in more advertising for me, right? So that's the key here, is you can use a billion different levels of content in your own group. And what I would do if I was you in your group, if you're wondering, Travis, what kind of content could I share? Do a screen share of yourself going through and making a website inside of Groove. Go through and do a screen share of you, once a week, building a bot in Chatmatic. Give yourself a little challenge. Okay, I'm going to make a bot for a moving company today. So you go live in your group. Maybe only 10, 15 people see it, but one of them says, man, this is so awesome. And you have your affiliate link there that says, here's Chatmatic. You can go do it yourself. Right. And now, again, you don't have to be the best. You don't even have to be perfect. You don't have to be great. You just got to get in there. You keep reminding them of this stuff. Now that was kind of a side note. I like running your own group isn't necessarily part of this challenge. I do think there's a lot of value into it. So 100% I suggest it. I like what Paige was doing with her M.me. She invited me right to her group, and there was literally nothing to sell right away. I definitely think, Paige, you could probably add that into the flow. A little bit of like kind of a, what I would call a jab sort of. Now today we are going to be talking about some really cool stuff. Okay. Today we're going to be talking about where's my agenda? Okay. We're going to be learning to leverage groups completely, which is kind of where we already started, which is great. And I'm going to teach you guys about persistent menus inside of Chatmatic. I think this is one of the biggest and most underutilized features of the system, using persistent menus. In fact, everybody whose bot I checked on yesterday had our default persistent menu in there, which I am fine with, but I'm going to show you how to change that. Lynette said, so I have my coaching group for offers to mastermind and master classes, but I also have my MLM clothing fan page. So make a fan page for your mastermind and coaching. Call Lynette LaRoche. That's your fan page. Connected to Chatmatic. Build an m.me link that says, hey, welcome to my coaching program and master classes. I'd love to introduce you to what I have, right? Like, and today we're actually going to be talking about a bot that I think everybody should make for whatever their business is. And in this case, we'll talk about it as if you were doing it for Groove, but it's a 7-step process for building a bot that goes from total scratch to hopefully selling somebody on a concept. And then you can actually use this bot as an ad. You can use it as a welcome message. So we'll go through that. I'm going to talk to you guys about making that campaign into your persistent menu, which I want to show you guys just really quick what a persistent menu is. If you look at a fan page, like let's say this is my Travis Scott Stevenson page. When you're looking at Messenger, there's these little dots or these little lines. When I click on that, it says powered by Chatmatic. That's our default persistent menu, but those could say whatever you want them to say. So I'll show you an example. If I go to my Travis Scott Stevenson page, go to settings, you see here, I've got guaranteed lead challenge and join my free group. Notice I said I try to drive people into my group. Now I'll hit save. And what's going to happen is it's going to update essentially. Let me just click on it so I can, there we go. Now it's going to update my persistent menu. So the next time I go to it, and it won't be immediately, but let me just see if I can refresh Facebook if it works. That persistent menu will now say you can, well, soon it'll say you can join our group, right here. I don't know if it takes action right away. Oh, see, join my free group or the guaranteed lead challenge. Let's go to join my free group. Now what's going to happen is it's going to kick off a campaign that says, I'm stoked to welcome you to my free group. The point of my bots and business group is to help business owners at no cost, mind you, leverage Messenger to generate more leads and sales. I provide free training, links to free templates, and advice for basically every niche. Guys, this is something that I didn't have in my notes, but I definitely want you guys to understand. This is something that I call indoctrination. Okay. I stole this from Ryan Deiss, one of the best books that I've read in marketing was his email automation book a long time ago. I read it like 10 years ago. And he talks about when you're sending emails, the first thing you need to do is indoctrinate people into what they can expect from your emails, what they can expect from doing business with you. That's the same process that we're doing here in our bot, is indoctrinating them. I'm telling them what they get from my group. Okay. I'm telling them what they get. I'm making it appetizing for them to join my group. Then they can click join the group, and obviously they can join. This is very similar to what Paige did. But mind you, Paige, the reason I am saying it's a little different is because mine came from the persistent menu. They chose to join my free group. Yours, I like what you're doing too. It's the profile image, brings them over to the group. You could easily turn that bot into a questionnaire. Hey, are you currently marketing? Do you currently own a business, or are you looking to start one? Oh, you're looking to start one? Great. Here's where I would suggest starting one. I was in the same shoes and yada, yada, yada. Oh, you already have one? Awesome. Are you using a website? Yes or no? No? Oh man, you can get a free one right here. See, like that allows you to kind of sell without being too salesy. So that's why I love the free group method, and I wouldn't rush you to change that. I want you to build that free group up. There's some other cool ways that we can do it too. But you notice here also the guaranteed lead challenge is another sequence that somebody can go through, and you will find out as you go through. And you can see here, this is another one where I'm actually getting emails, or I'm collecting emails for a sequence here. The name of Ryan Deiss's book is something automation, machine, automatic income machine, something. It's an older one. Let's see. The Invisible Selling Machine. That's it. That's it. So you can see here, I basically give them a free book. Sweet. The book is on the way. Like most people, you probably think that generating leads is difficult and that you need a bunch of websites and nonsense. That was the past. I bet I can solve that for you, regardless of what business you're in just 5 more messages. Do you want to see? Heck yeah, tell me more. And I walk them through a path that lets me guide them into making the decision to join Messenger. So each element of the persistent menu can have its own workflow, or it could actually be a link. So check this out. You can actually add a link to, let's say, your website, our website, right? And then you save, and now you just put your website address in. So persistent menus are actually pretty badass, because you'll see right here, this is what it looks like. Guaranteed lead challenge, join my free group, our website. Now I'll go to my workflows, and I'm going to just search for my group one, my group invite, which is, I don't know exactly where it is. I got to find it. Man, that's one thing I actually really want to do, is make the workflows searchable. That'd be kind of nice. I know I have one in here called group invite or something. I probably already passed it. Free trial flow, personal injury. Somebody said it was actually on the first page. I don't think I had the group invite on the first page. Yeah. Join my group free. Here we go. Second page. Let's look at the stats. I've never promoted this, but if you look, I had 232 people go through it just from me sending them into my bot and then them going to the persistent menu. Now you can see here, I actually have a little video in mind. Thank you for getting this far, but listen, I know that you've probably thought in the past that leads are difficult to get, but I've generated millions of leads using Messenger, and there is absolutely an easier way. It's fast, it's simple, and it generates amazing leads. And again, this is the exact system that we've used in e-commerce and digital businesses. So you can see, you can actually put these really nice up and down videos in your bot, so that as people are going through it, you can actually tell them things instead of just typing things, right? So remember, use these different aspects of your business. Now think about this, and I want you guys to really know like what's happening here. Somebody's joined my email list, right? It's kind of impersonal at this point, but then I give them a video. They now know me a little bit better. I have the hat on with my logo on it. I'm presenting myself in a way that lets them see who I am. The next time I post a video, they're going to know who I am because I sent them a personalized video, right? So again, these kind of sequences are great, but I just wanted to show you guys what the persistent menu was. And all you have to do in Chatmatic is go to settings. You make your workflow first, right? You make your, like in my case, it's my join my free group, right? Then you go to your settings, your persistent menu, and you change them. Now you'll notice before you license your page, so before you go to billing and license it, which again, if you're on the unlimited plan, you have to submit a ticket asking for a license before it will be licensed. It won't just do it on its own. You're going to have to get a license code, which makes it free to license your page. You'll have a persistent menu that says powered by Chatmatic. What that's going to do is it's actually going to just send them over to chatmatic.com. That's something that we do for all of our free trials as a way of leveraging and growing our business while people are using our system for free, is we essentially brand the persistent menu, which is cool. But the license itself, like I'll show you exactly what this looks like really fast. When you go to billing, and you go here to select a plan, right? This is going to be where you can actually license it for unlimited subscribers. You'll notice it says $97 a month. Support will give you a coupon code that makes the licensing cost nothing. You still have to put a credit card in to establish an account. But if you're on our $4.99 unlimited, then you have to submit a ticket to support to get your discount codes, because we make a discount code for you. And then that discount code, you apply it, boom, makes it $0. And I'll just show you one that I know that I've used. See, it makes it actually $0. So you can do that. That's how you can actually license your page. If you're on the $4.99 unlimited, we'll give you guys a discount code. So, all right. That's basically covering persistent menus. And yes, Tammy, you will have to license every single page that you connect or that you want to work with. That's just how it goes, because here's what happens. Let's say, Tammy, you're working on a page called I Love Water, and somebody else owns that page, but you're working on it, and you use your unlimited license to license it, right? If you leave technically that page shouldn't be licensed anymore, right? Well, that other person who owns the page could log right in and their license is still going to be there. So in order to make it to where it actually works the right way, you have to license every single page. But you don't have to license it until you're close to 250 subscribers, or if you want to change the persistent menu. That's really the only thing. For those of you guys asking about like the code situation, you got to email support if you need a code, period. I'm not going to go too much deeper into that. And yes, you submit a ticket. Brent said, I've sent 2 ticket requests for my 5 pages, but no reply. You will likely get a reply within about 24 hours. So if you sent it today or yesterday, you should get a reply pretty soon. Okay. So persistent menus is really that simple. It's just a way for people to go through your bot, another option for your bot. It's kind of like having like an FAQ or, whatever. Can the persistent menu change for my client sequences? You can add, again, you can make the persistent menu whatever you want. This is only attached to one page. So this is just my persistent menu for my Travis Scott Stevenson page. If I go to a different page and I go to the settings there, it's a different persistent menu completely, right? So you have to change it for every single page or else it won't have it. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to go back into what we did yesterday, because that sequence that we did yesterday, this GrooveFunnels main affiliate template. First, I want to show you guys the stats for mine. All I did was change my Facebook page banner. I didn't do anything else. And look at this. Ready? I got 192 messages delivered and 43 people gave me their email. And I didn't have to do anything. So the next question for a lot of people is, okay, Travis, you've got their email in Chatmatic. Now what? Well, now that's what you've got to do, something called an automation or integration. And I want to talk about this a little bit. An integration is your connection with a third-party app, okay? Like Zapier or Integromat. We're going to use Zapier today. An automation is the thing in Chatmatic that says, hey, send this information to this third party. Everybody do me a favor, just give me a yes if you understand the 2 differences. You can have multiple integrations and you can have unlimited automations, but an integration by itself doesn't do anything. It just connects to the third party. We're going to set it all up from scratch. You'll notice right here, when I collect this email, I want to send this email to my autoresponder, right? Everybody give me a 1 if you understand that. Hey, I would really like to get this email over to my autoresponder. Okay, that's issue number 1. Here's how you solve issue number 1. You add what's called, you trigger an automation. So you can see here, I've got a bunch of automations. I'm going to make one for you guys now live from scratch, and I'll show you everything that we do. I've got some good news and some bad news for you GrooveMail fanatics. Bad news. GrooveMail is not really up and running to full tilt yet, which means we can't get leads from Chatmatic into GrooveMail yet. I'm going to be using Kartra for this demo just to show you guys, but we're working on GrooveMail, a direct integration. Okay. So an integration connects to a third party. An automation tells our system when you want to send data to that integration. So let's go ahead and make one of each. So I know at this point, I want to get that email to my autoresponder. So I hit save and I'm going to go to my settings. And first thing I got to do is I got to add an integration. Okay. I'm going to integrate with a new Zap system. Okay. So I go to Zapier. I'm going to literally log into Zapier. We're going to set this whole thing up and I'm hoping it works. I might be at my limit. You guys would be surprised. I use 200,000 zaps a month and my zaps are up on the 11th. So yeah. And Tina said, this is, I think, feeling my brain is in stupid mode. Realize this might be your first time doing this, but when you do it 10 times, it's not going to be in stupid mode anymore. That's the key, is understanding that you're not going to connect to all of this right away. First step, get your sequence. Next step, okay, I'm getting emails. Now I got to get those emails out to something else. How do I do that? You make a Zap. This is Zapier. You'd have to have a paid account, or you can use Integromat. Integromat's a little different, way more complicated, but watch right here, webhook. We want to trigger an event. So what's going to happen is this webhook is essentially like a glove. Okay. I want you guys to imagine it's like a glove. And every single time you tell Chatmatic by issuing an automation, you tell Chatmatic, hey, send data to this webhook. Zapier is going to catch all of the information and then distribute it to a sequence of other events. And I'll show you guys, it'll make way more sense here in a minute. So the trigger event is going to be a catch hook, which means it wants to catch information. Okay. It's going to now give me that hook. So this is the URL. So just watch as I do it. I literally just copy the catch hook URL. I go to Chatmatic. I add new. The webhook name is going to be live 5-day challenge demo. The URL is right there. I hit submit and I'm done. So essentially, I've just integrated with Zapier. Can I get a 2 for everybody who understands? That's all I've done so far. All I've done is taken Zapier's ability to allow me to throw them data, right? I can throw them information at any time at this point because now I've integrated with them. So now I'm going to go ahead and hit continue. Now it's going to ask me to test. In order to test this data, because as of right now, the catch hook, all that really does is it says it's a glove, right? But it doesn't know, are you throwing a microwave or are you throwing a softball or are you throwing a golf ball, right? We don't know what you're actually throwing at us. So you need to test it to show us what that data is going to look like so that we can, like, we know which field is a name, which field is a last name, which field is an email, right? Give me a 3 if you guys understand. We've got to test it now so that we can show Zapier what's going to be coming on a regular basis. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my integration, which is called Live 5-Day Challenge Demo, and I'm going to add it to an automation. So I'm going to add new automation, call this 5-Day Challenge Subscribe, save, turn it on, and I'm going to use this automation to trigger an integration. Okay. Integration, live 5-day challenge, add it to the automation. So it's always on the right-hand side and hit save and complete. So now at that point, what I've done is I've connected Zapier to Chatmatic, or Chatmatic to Zapier technically. And then I've said, okay, anytime this automation is fired, send all of the data that we have through to Zapier, through to this integration, right? So now I've got to go attach it to that workflow. So I go to edit. I want to send the data every time somebody gives me an email. So right here, I'm triggering the automation called 5-Day Challenge Subscribe, save change. Right? Now, somebody said, can you unzap it? That doesn't make any sense. Once you've sent data to Zapier, it's over there. So now every time somebody goes through this bot and they click on their email, Chatmatic is going to trigger the automation, which is going to send that data over to Zapier. Give me a 4 if you guys follow me so far. Obviously, if you have to go through it again, you can. There's full documentation. If you look inside of our members area, if you click on your profile picture and click API key, guys, there is a full Zapier walkthrough document up there. That document will literally show you all of this in step-by-step screenshot form. So you can go through it again if you have to. But now I've got those emails going over to Zapier. So now what we got to do is we've actually got to test it. So I'm going to take my link, which is this is the link that's going to signal that workflow. I'm going to go through it. And as I go through it, assuming I can go through it here someday, you can tell there's some internet issues. I actually think Facebook is potentially having an issue. It is telling me my internet connection is unstable, but I'm in an office. I should have decent connection. So now it should run me through that series that says, hey, here's my free book. Give me your email address. Now, if this works, when I give this my email address, it should send it over to Zapier. So I click this. I go back, I hit test trigger. So now we've actually sent data through. Look, boom, right away. See how fast that was? Give me a 5 if you see what just happened. I clicked my email. We know the automation integration is set up, so it's going to send all of my data that Chatmatic has about me as a subscriber of yours or a subscriber of this page. It's going to send it all over. You guys can see my subscribe date, my first name, last name, phone number, email, PSID, any information that I've ever collected, all the tags that I've tagged this person with the location, if I've asked them before, a webinar link, there's a bunch you can do. Okay. My profile picture. So now I just go to continue. Now, what do you guys want to do? You want to add it to, in my case, I'll add it to Kartra, right? So I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to actually create a new lead. Now we know we've got that information from the catch hook. Every single person who goes through, it's going to be sending this information over to this hook. So now I am going to choose my account. And you literally just follow the steps. You follow the steps. See, email. Now I've got to merge the email in. So you can see here, it's basically saying Kartra is going to look for an email. What email do you want to use? I want to use the email in that email field, right? What's the first name? The first name is always the first name field, the last name. So what we're doing now is we're connecting fields to the fields that Kartra is going to be looking for. I could do any of this other stuff like lead picture URL. I know that I get a profile URL here, so I might as well use it. So now I hit continue, and you can actually test that data. I'm going to skip this test for now. What else do we want to do? Maybe we want to add them to a custom audience in Facebook, right? Facebook custom audience. Choose an event. We want to add email to custom audience. We're going to choose our ad account. We are going to actually choose the ad account itself, which is this one. We're going to choose the custom audience we want to add them to, which is this lead audience that I have. And now we merge the email that we want to use. We hit continue. I can test this one. It's totally fine. And if anybody, look, guys, if you guys are asking what does Zapier do, I need you to understand how business works. I need you to understand how marketing works, how entrepreneurship works, all of it. Do not ask those questions. Here's why. You can go Google it. Go to Zapier. Read what they do. Nobody here is going to be able to give you a two-sentence answer that is as good as you could get by spending 20 minutes going and looking at their website, finding out what they do. One of the biggest problems that most of you guys face is you see something that you don't understand. Oh, I don't understand it. Tell me what to do. That's the worst way to go about building your business. The best way is I'll come back to it and I'll figure it out, right? I'll go see if I can figure this out. I'll go find out, like, what does Zapier do? I don't know. Maybe I'll go to Zapier.com and let them tell me what to do versus ask on a live training, what does Zapier do? When there's a really good chance I'll probably be able to find out from their website and in a much more in-depth way, right? So that's what you want to do. You need to go about problem solving for yourself, right? Problem solve for yourself. And that's going to be a really, really big step in your learning curve is teach yourself this stuff, because then in a week from now, here's what's going to happen. We're not going to be on a live training anymore, right? We're not gonna be on this live training where you can ask these questions, and you're going to be on your own, and you're going to be like, man, what was Zapier again? I totally forget, because you didn't have to put in the work to learn it. Instead, you just asked a question and we're like, oh, okay, cool. That's the big key and major difference in all entrepreneurship and business. Learn how to teach yourself. Ask questions, find solutions. Don't rely on anybody else. I'm showing you guys stuff in a pretty quick way, showing you guys stuff that is definitely next level. Automations are for sure next level, but you can learn them because all this is very simple. Hey, I clicked on this email. I know when somebody clicks on their email, I want to get their email over to this other platform. I use Zapier to do that because Zapier connects to everything. Name something else that I should do. Maybe I want to opt them in for a Zoom webinar. So I go to Zoom and I'm going to choose an action. I'm going to literally create a webinar registrant, right? So maybe you have monthly courses or weekly training webinars, right? So what you do is every single person who gives you their email, you opt them in for these free training webinars. And now, boom, you've got more people attending your webinars. Boom, you can sell more stuff. Now, literally in one step, I'm adding them to a custom audience. I'm creating a lead inside of Kartra, and I'm opting them in for my webinar. I could do anything. You want to send them a t-shirt? I think there's a t-shirt company in here. Yeah, ShipStation. I could do ShipStation. You want to, oh man, I mean, look, there's just a ton of them. You could add them to your active campaign. You can add them to MailChimp. You can add them to whatever platform you want. Right now, Groove is not in Zapier yet. You could schedule them for a call, a one-on-one call. You can, man, there's just so much. You can set them into a retargeting audience for your ad roll system. You can add them to your CRM. Add them to your CRM. We could literally keep going through this. I could add them to Airtable. I could add them to a spreadsheet. I could send an email. Look at this. Ready? I can go to Gmail. I can literally send an email to myself. Right? Watch. Choose an event. We're going to send an email. I could send an email to myself that says, "Hey, Travis just went through your bot. Here's his information." Okay. So I want you guys to really think outside the box. The things that you're going to want to do right away is you 100% want to add them to your autoresponder like I just did, right? I created a new lead in Kartra. Now let's go back to Kartra and put that lead in an email sequence. What about that, right? Can you use the same integration and automation for multiple workflows? 100%. So now I've got that great workflow there, right? Let's go to workflow. I've got this one that collects emails. Let's say in my main $4.99 Chatmatic promo, I want to have the same one and send them all the same stuff. I go to the email step, go to the bottom, email, trigger automation, 5-day challenge, subscribe, save changes. Boom. I can just keep adding it to whatever sequences I want, right? Because now literally it's just waiting for you to tell it what to do. And I think automations actually become way more fluent the more you go through them. Big suggestion for all of you guys, go to the top right, click API key, click Zapier walkthrough documentation, and go through and read this and look through it. I wrote this myself. It's a full Zapier documentation that shows you how to add integrations, how to use webhooks, where to get the webhook information, how to attach it to an email, an email field or a quick reply, how to access the actual Zap app, which is an interesting thing. Can you remove a Zap from a sequence as well? That's actually something that we're adding. We've never really had to do it before, but we're adding the ability to be able to do that. Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting once Zapier actually adds, or once Groove adds all this stuff. But so I can now go into Kartra. I can now say, okay, I want to subscribe lead to a sequence. So now let's say I've got a 9-day email autoresponder campaign, right? Go to continue. And I want everybody who gives me their email to get all 9 of these emails. Can I get a 5 for everybody who understands that? Everybody who gives me their email should be getting follow-up emails from me automatically. Now, I want all of you guys to stop. I want you to type fail if you failed at that in the past. You've maybe collected a handful of emails, but you don't have an autoresponder sequence promoting them content. Look how many people have failed, just like you have. So if you're seeing all these fails come in, it's okay. I've done it too. I have also failed. I have collected no less than 10,000 emails in the last year that didn't get an email from me because I didn't have an automation set up. I didn't have the email set up. Look how easy it is now. I literally choose the sequence that I want them to get. Look at all my email sequences. Let's say I'll do the, I think I have, like, if you buy my proposal, you get this proposal buyer one. We could do messenger agency sequence. And I can literally start them on step 1. All I got to do now is say, okay, I want to send it to that email, hit continue, boom. And now they're going to get step 1 and then 24 hours, their email 2, 24 hours, email 3. And I haven't had to do anything aside from set up 1 Zap. And now everybody who comes through my bots for the rest of time is going to get emails from me. They're going to be added to custom audiences. You can actually do, you can like make posts in Facebook groups and stuff based off of their coming into the group. It's pretty wild. So yeah, you can actually like choose different events that can happen. You can post a message. You can post a photo. You could literally post a photo of the new person who just opted in for your bot in the group. I could post a photo. It's fine. I'm not going to do all that, but you can do almost anything that you would need to do for your business inside of Zapier. I think their starter plan is like $20 a month. I do like Integromat as well. Go learn those. Those are a side thing for today. But I wanted to show you guys a little bit about what automations can do, because I do think that they're incredibly important. That is how we take information from inside of Chatmatic and get it out of Chatmatic. So a lot of you guys, do me a huge favor and just put a $sign if you're really interested in running an agency that makes 5 to 10 grand a month doing this kind of stuff for other people. Guess what? In order to do that successfully, you're going to have to get the information that you collect for them inside of Messenger out to their CRM, right? This is how you do it. Watch this. You want to send your client an email. You go, okay, I'm going to send them an email from my Travis at Chatmatic account. Watch how freaking dope this is. We're going to send this to, I'm going to send it to myself, right? Now, I'm going to make it from, this is all like stuff that you just fill in. From name, the best, ready? The best agency ever, right? This would be your from name. The subject, you just got another hot lead, okay? Now, inside the body, we're going to literally say, hey, client, check out this new lead you just got. I'm going to merge in their name. Right? So the catch hook has their first name, and then I'll put their last name, email, right? And maybe you have some tags in Chatmatic, right? Maybe you have their tags like you ask them, hey, what island do you live on? You save it as location, and now that comes through. Maybe you have their business type, right? I listed entrepreneur. Maybe you have agency length. These are tags that I've tagged people as, saying like, hey, well, like, what do you want to achieve? Like, you might ask somebody, hey, what do you want to achieve? Wants to achieve. You might say, hey, what do you want to achieve? And you save it to a field called like to achieve, $1 billion. What type of service did they want? Right? And I had this one saved as pest control. So now, every single time somebody goes to the bot and gives me their email, it's going to send all of that information over to my client. My client's going to get an email just like this. And now I hit continue. Watch this. I can literally test it. So it's going to say it needs a bunch of attention. Let me see if I can test it without it. Oh, I can't, because I've got to delete. I'm going to delete these steps so that I can actually test this. You can't test the final step until you test the ones that precede it. And these ones can't be tested because I'm not actually going to do them. So let's get rid of that. All right, now I can test this. Ready? Test and continue. Now, as you can see right here, it's got my, it sent me an email. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull it up. My internet's being really slow. But you can see it says an email was sent to Gmail about 10 seconds ago. So if I log into my Gmail, my internet seems to be slow right now, crawling, in fact. Look at this. Look at this. Ready? Here's the email that I got. Hey, client, check out this new lead that you just got. Here's the name, Travis Stevenson. His email, his location was Kauai. His business type, entrepreneur. He wants to achieve $1 billion. What type of service did he want? Pest control. So I can collect any information that I want about anyone coming through my bot and send it over to my client in real time. Think about that. I can literally get it over to my client in real time. So everybody always asks, well, Travis, how hard is it to be an account manager for your clients? It's not that hard because I'm giving them all the data in real time. You could also go in here and send a text message, right? I use sales message. Where is it? Oh, they're not in here anymore. It doesn't look like. You can send a text message. You can send a text message right from Chatmatic, actually. But so now you guys can see you can do a bunch of different things. Jeff just said, I just implemented something like this for one of my clients and he loves it. Of course, eventually he'll probably be like, well, can you turn it off? It's a little too hot for me right now. Too many emails. So that's automations. And I want you guys to be left a little bit curious as to what the automations are, what they can do. because the more curious you are, the more you have to go into the platform, set them up, try using them, test them out, put them into a sequence, and then you learn through doing. Let me ask you guys a question for all of you guys who are asking, Travis, what about automations and how does this work? What is Zapier? What do you think? My daughter is 4, and I learned this. It was really visual to me when I was watching her learn to walk. How fast do you think she'd be now if, as she was learning to walk, she said, "Dad, how do you walk?" And I just kept telling her, but she never tried. How fast do you think she probably wouldn't be able to walk much? Oh, you put one leg in front of the other and then you walk, and then eventually you can run, right? If you do it fast enough. In her mind, she's thinking, I can't run. I can't even walk. So a lot of you guys are sitting there thinking right now, Travis, I can't do automations. I can't even build a bot. That's because you're not letting yourself try to walk. You're not letting yourself do it. You're asking other people to give you the keys to learning to walk, but that's not how you learn. Like, I really want you guys to understand that. I need that to soak in for you guys, that the number one way you're going to learn is by going in, letting it be overwhelming, right? This should be overwhelming. Let it be. Go into the platform, spend an hour doing it and be like, man, all right, now I've got this real question about this thing that I just literally can't figure out. Then you go into the group, then you email support. Until then, if you've got an issue where you're like, well, I just don't know how to do automations, you now have everything that you need to be able to do it on your own. Automations are key. It's a huge part of being able to get all of your emails into your email autoresponder. Now, what we're going to be covering in day 3, and we're not done with day 2 yet. We've got a pretty good amount that I want to cover still. In day 3, we're going to be covering email marketing and Facebook ads. Do me a huge favor and give me a wow if you guys are pumped about that, because we are going to be covering how to actually get more people into your bot via Facebook ads. We're going to be covering how to utilize those audiences. We'll make an ad together, hopefully. And we're also going to create an email marketing sequence that promotes, that would promote Groove essentially. And we'll kind of do that together. But today I want to talk to you guys about what I had mentioned at the beginning of this call, which was a bot that I think all of you guys need to make. And it works through something that I call a contrarian copy style of writing copy. It's something that I took from a guy named Sean Vossler. It's in my opinion, one of the best structures for a sequence. Now this one wasn't, that wasn't the right one. That was actually just the one to get the contrarian copy sequence. I forget where I put it, but I'll explain what I mean by this. So contrarian copy, maybe I called it like main affiliate something. Is it this one? Nope. Is it? It's not gonna be any of those. Okay. So I want to explain what contrarian copy is. And this is when you guys are going to really write down your notes. This is a 7-step sequence to writing a bot sequence that's going to go from getting a brand new lead to selling them. So when we would, Travis, when would we use this? Great examples. I was already showing you guys, Paige's sequence from before. She had a profile banner changed, m.me link, invited people to her group. After you invite people to the group and they join the group, follow up with them an hour later that says, hey, and then follows this sequence. Okay. I really, so Catherine, you can add tags, but I think you're meaning tags, like a tag workflow. We're not there yet, but, let me cover these 7 steps to writing what I think is like a perfect sales bot. It's also the way that you would write a perfect sales letter. And so the first step is attention. Okay. First step is grab attention. So let's just go and make a bot that kind of does this as we're going through it. I'll make one. I'm going to call it Contrarian Copy Demo. Okay. So I'm not going to go through and spaz it up as much as I probably would, but you'll see how fast we can actually build through this sequence. So the first step, I'm going to call this action step. Okay. Or I'm sorry, attention step, is we've got to get their attention. Now, let's say I'm promoting, in this case, I'm promoting Chatmatic, okay? Hey, F name, what if you could make 14 times more money with the same number of minimal subscribers? Like, no, hold on, okay. F name. If I was able to prove, no, attention is like the big headline. It's the big thing. So let me just see if I have, you can actually do some really cool stuff in here. Let me just see. Because I didn't know exactly what I was promoting. Oh, here's what I'm going to promote. I'm going to promote Chatmatic's $4.99, the same way that you guys would through my 3-day training. So now I want to kind of present the idea that bots are better, essentially. So I'm going to go to, and again, this would be translated right to Groove. It's the same idea. It's the same attention. And we'll go to the next steps. Right. Okay. So you guys are just literally going to be watching me kind of build through some of this, but I said, it's official, right? We're going to have Lucille Ball here popping some bottles. So it just says, did you hear Messenger is officially 14 times more profitable than email and easier to set up, but it also collects emails in sequences and sends those emails directly into email follow-ups. Okay. So, again, knowing all 7 steps when you're writing it is important. So let me go through some of the other, the next step. The next step is acknowledgement. Okay. This is what most people think. So the first step is attention. We want a hook to grab their attention. The next step is acknowledgement. We're going to be talking about the fact that what most people think. You can do this in 2 steps or you can do it in 1. I'm going to do it in 1 step each. Okay. 1 step each. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, want to know why most people don't use Messenger? Why not? So you see what I'm doing is I'm presetting the next stage. The next stage is acknowledgement. It's what most people think. I'm presetting that up right here in the first sequence by saying, hey, do you want to know why most people don't use Messenger? And now my acknowledgement stage. Is, well, most people just don't know how easy it is or how powerful. It's the only direct. Oh, I don't even have to get to that point yet. That actually comes next. My proving is definitely next. So this is what most people think, right? Most people think they don't know how easy it is or how powerful or how important it is to talk to their subscribers, right? And I might do like this. I mean, just look at these. Okay, now I might actually upload an image. Let me just pull an image from, I think I have, yeah. Okay, ready. More than 1 in 2 people say messaging a business makes them feel more personally connected to a brand. Now I'll have a 4-second typing delay, another image, and this one. 63% of people across generations prefer to message than call or email. Pretty hard to ignore those numbers. But there's also, but what about 2 billion? What about 2 billion? That's the number of users Messenger has. And 10 billion is the number of messages exchanged between customers and businesses every single month. Imagine being able to harness that power through automation to generate a list of hungry buyers. Okay, so now we're going to aggravate. Okay, so now we're going to aggravate, but we've got to preset it. We've got to ask them a question that we can preset that way. So we want to tell them what the truth is, right? So instead of that, I'm going to say, okay, let me shine some light on this. Give me light. And I might do something like this. Boom. Edit next message. Okay. Now, I'll put a delay before this one just so I can keep the flow happening here. So aggravate is our next step. The truth is this. Well, the truth is you could have your first sequence up and running and generating subscribers in less than 20 minutes. How many of you guys were able to download a template and have it up and running in less than 20 minutes from yesterday? I know a lot of you guys were using it already. So I know this is possible. And again, that's what we're going to be talking about. I know it sounds wild, but we've seen over 68,000 people do it. Now, that says that's the truth. Now, the next stage is authority. Here's why it's the truth. We got to prove with logic or emotion what we've done. And Bridget, it's going to ask you for a credit card even when you're buying free templates because it creates your account. It creates a billing account, even though it's free. You still have to put a credit card in. So it says, I know it sounds wild, but we've seen it done over, we've seen nearly 68,000 different cases of this happening. Okay, so now I've got to go into my authority phase, which is here's why it's the truth. So again, I am now message 3 is aggravate. Hold on. Sadly, people most likely like you. Hold on, most likely aren't getting this truth, and they are wasting their time building websites and hoping if you build it, they will come. Not going to work. I feel you. We're aggravating the issue. In order to do that, we've got to let them know, here's the issue. Here's why it's bad for you. Now we go to authority. Here's why it's the truth. We're going to use logic and emotion. Okay? I feel you. Maybe I can help you get more. And again, I wouldn't use this exact copy, but I am walking you guys through. I'm doing it relatively quickly, but maybe I can help you get more out of the same effort by using Messenger. Let me share how. Okay. I'll say share how it's done. Okay, myself and nearly 60,000 others have realized that you can take 5 to 8 different entry points into Messenger, create thousands of subscribers faster than you can blink, and monetize those subscribers by being able to reach them directly in a one-to-one channel. Okay. So again, here's why it's the truth. This is logic. And now we can actually add in a little bit of emotion. Imagine what it'd be like to be able to get 80+% opens whenever you want. And I'm going to actually use an image because I have them. Oh, that's funny. This is Messenger. This is actually a thumbnail, Messenger marketing and entry points. So I've got authority. Okay. Now here I might say, like, this is almost when we start to transition, right? So we're going into angst, the damage of believing the wrong way. This is a really important one. Now, let me show you what happens when you continue down the path of not using Messenger for your business. Okay. This is like the Ghost of Christmas Past. You guys seen the Scrooge movies, right? Scrooge. The catharsis at the end isn't as powerful if you don't know about the pain he goes through in the during of the process. That's kind of what we're doing in sales right now. Is like we're showing him his Christmas past. We got to do that to be able to make it to where it's a real win when they come out the other side. What happens? Right? So we go up here. Boom. Stage 5 is angst message. Well, it's not necessarily your fault, but it does put you behind the 8 ball, so to speak. A little delay. And again, this is kind of just how you choose to want to type, right? How would you type to a friend? You wouldn't type big, massive messages. You would have typing delays and things like that. So it could cost you a ton of time setting up the wrong pages, the wrong emails, the wrong text messages, trying to get it all right. And then no one shows up because you don't have a full picture of what you're trying to accomplish. We've seen this with thousands of entrepreneurs and business people because the internet can be tough to grasp, right? So again, just kind of letting them know, like, it's going to be harder for you to make your journey. Next is the step would be ambiguity. Here's how we've fixed it. But there's good news. F name. We fixed it. Show me how. Joseph said, I want to overpay for a copywriter. Can I hire you? No, I don't do copy for anyone else. There is a great group called, look up Sean Vossler, look up his group. I forget what the name of the group is called, but he's got great copywriters in there. So message 6 is ambiguity message. Here's how we fixed it. We created a 3-day live training that shows you exactly what you need to do to take advantage of Messenger. It gives you free software access to build automations you need. It gives you free templates you can use to make this fast. It gives you what else? Examples of everything we've done to help clients make millions in sales through Messenger. A step-by-step guide and blueprint to outline the process you'd need to take right now. I'm going to have a longer typing delay. Honestly, it's everything you could ever want, broken into 3 days of training. And after, you get all of the training in modules to watch as you'd like. You will. Now, ready? Okay, so that's the ambiguity. Here's how we fixed it. We fixed it by giving everybody free training. We fixed it by literally taking all the information that's out there that's overwhelming. We packaged it into 3 days, and we're now giving it to you. The training is completely free. So that's another thing you don't have to worry about paying for. Catherine said, so I can say we as I'm part of Chatmatic. So what I would do, Catherine, is rephrase this step to be like, here's what I did. I've gotten you access to this free training. It's good for the next 5 days, that kind of thing, right? Okay. Then the last is appeal. Would you, ready? If you think you'd like this training and software and everything that comes with it, confirm your email address below and I'll get you access. Ready? And down. Okay. Now I'm just going to separate this line. Ready? Now we're going to ask for their email. I'm going to trigger the automation that sends them over to all of my systems, right? This one's actually going to register them for an email, which is great. Send next. So now we're actually going to have our call to action. This is our appeal phase, right? So now we're actually going to say, great. Image. Awesome. I like GIFs. Awesome. So the link to this training is below. Click it, watch it, but mostly you want to make sure you apply it. Warning, there is a lot of information, so make sure you're sitting down. This is literally, this should be a $2,000 course without a doubt, but it's completely free. Okay, now I'll have a card because I want to make it look nice. I'll search marketing. Actually, watch this. If I search Tampa, I'm actually ranked in our little algorithm. It's not our algorithm. It's actually this image website. I'm ranked in their algorithm under Tampa. Not super high, but I'm in there somewhere. Let's see. I might have actually already missed it. Yeah, I think I went past it when it loaded. Let's see. We used to be in here. No, I didn't miss it. I'm going to find this damn picture. Ah, bingo. I'm going to say join the training now. Click here to join day 1. Okay, now you guys would change this to your affiliate link. But mine's this one. Now I can add to this, right? I could add to this. So for now, I'm just going to go ahead and save and complete. I could totally add to this and make it to where I follow up with them in like, you know, an hour and say, or like 3 hours. Cause I know the first training is 4 hours long. Follow up with them in like 3 to 4 hours and say, hey, did you get a chance to check out that training? What did you think? Yada, yada, yada. So obviously that would be a smart move. There we go. Try to brighten up my camera a little bit. But there we go. We've got our first message. It's collecting an email. Pretty dope. I'm going to add this little image. Let's see. Can I do this? That's cool. Crop. Upload and save. So now, again, I can, with that, that's my contrarian. I would call that my contrarian bot sequence, right? You can make this sequence your persistent menu. You can make it your welcome message. So I just want to show you guys real quick. If I go to triggers, add new, I already have a welcome message, so I can't do another one, but you would add a welcome message right here. Let's see. My welcome message isn't showing over here, so I gotta, oh, it's because it's paginated. Let's see. I have a lot. I didn't want to take the time to go through them all, but I'll figure it out. So yeah, you can literally just do that for, so again, that would be if you wanted to do it for Chatmatic. If you wanted to do it for Groove, take the same idea, right? What are the things that are going to, if we ran through it real quick, attention. Did you, you could be building all of your websites, sending emails and hosting all of your videos for no cost. That's an actual save. Let me show you how you can save $17,506 a year and build your business, right? That's what Groove promotes, is that you can save that much by not having all those other apps. And you go through and you do all that. Most people think that, having to build a website and email and all this stuff has to be disconnected and really difficult. Then aggravate. The truth is, it doesn't have to be that difficult. It's all been added into one sequence. Do me a huge favor and just give me a yes if you guys are understanding. This copy sequence makes it easy where even if you're bad at writing copy, it becomes easy to write copy because it walks the process. It walks the person through a sales process. So we're aggravating. The truth is, it's not actually that difficult because GrooveFunnels makes it really simple. It doesn't have to be that difficult. In fact, there are applications that allow you to have all of your apps in one place so that you can actually yada, yada, yada. Authority. Here's why it's the truth. Logic and emotion. You go through talking about GrooveFunnels. I've actually done it and I've built 5 different websites and, it freed me up and it gave me more time in my business and all this. Then angst. The damage of believing the wrong way. So if they continue to believe this incorrect path, then, here's the downside that's going to happen. If you continue to build websites using ClickFunnels or using any of the other ones, did you know that ClickFunnels is actually being blocked by Facebook and it's increasing your CPM? So you could be paying more for ads. Did you know that, if you use ClickFunnels and you use, what was it? It was ClickFunnels and SamCart and ActiveCampaign and all those, you're going to be spending $17,500 a year and you're going to have all these disconnected apps and it's really crazy. And it would literally cost you, hundreds of hours of your time, which your online business was created so that you wouldn't have to change that much time. Right. So now you're like showing them you're showing them the Scrooge. You're showing them the ghost of Christmas past, but it's basically ghost of Christmas future. What's going to happen if you keep on the path that you're on right now? Here's all these horrible things that could happen. Okay. Then ambiguity. Here's how we fixed it. We fixed it by somebody coming out with a great app. So it doesn't have to be, here's how we fixed it. It could be, here's how it's now fixed. It's like, these absolutely amazing marketers came together and said, we wanted to fix this once and for all and make one system that included all of these different apps. Most people thought it was impossible. They've finally done it. It's absolutely amazing. And you can absolutely have it. And you can have it completely free. And I know that sounds crazy, but you do get access to it completely for free. If you want it, give me your email. Now you get their email and you say, okay, great. Now you make your appeal, which is the summary of benefits. So you would like a free page builder that gives you 3 websites. You would like to be able to send email up to 500 subscribers. You would like to be able to host your videos and not have to pay anything. You'd like to be able to do all of that stuff for free. Click the link below, go create your free account. Right? Everybody give me a wow if it's clicking on how to do that. Like, that is an absolutely freaking gold mine for writing copy, and you can write it for any niche that you want, any atmosphere that you want. Somebody give me another product that you sell, especially if you're an MLM. Give me a product that you sell that you're an MLM for, or that you are network marketing for, or that you've, like, I would love to see, let's see, CBD. CBD is a good one because I get this question a lot. CBD is a good one. This works for juice. This works for fundraising is a little off, but CBD is a good one. Okay, so CBD is the same thing. Attention. What if you could cure all of your pain? Now, again, I'm thinking about my ideal customer. My ideal customer has one specific problem. He might have pain, trying to ease pain, right? Let's say he's trying to use CBD to ease pain. Attention. Did you know you could cure your pain without having to take prescription drug medication or whatever, right? Acknowledgement. Most people think that you have to take prescription medication or you have to be able to work out or you got to be really strong and you can't cure and blah, blah, blah. And that there's just nothing out there that's legal and FDA approved. And boom, we move on. Aggravate. Well, the truth is there's an absolutely FDA approved yada, yada, yada. It doesn't have to be a prescription drug. It doesn't have to be all these things. It doesn't have to have negative side effects, all of this, right? Let me just stop sharing my screen so you guys are seeing me. Okay. Then authority. And I know that because I've been taking it. I've taken CBD. Now, here's one big problem that I will tell you about CBD. So many people want to sell it, but they don't even use it. It's really hard to sell something that you don't use. It's easy for me to sell Chatmatic because I'm a #1 user of Chatmatic. I know the ins and outs of it. It's really hard for you to sell stuff that you don't use. Sorry. If you want to sell something, use it. If you want to sell Groove and make more money, you know what one of the #1 things is for people who sell Groove is the people who jump in and start using it. You want to know who our #1 affiliates are at Chatmatic? It's the people who jump in and start using it, right? Now, after that, angst, the damage of believing the wrong way. Well, the damage of believing the wrong way is if you're taking prescription medications to ease your pain or to, do this or to get these symptoms removed, you're going to have long-term effects and it's going to be, this and it's going to be that and all this, right? So that's the damage. The damage is really negative. Weight loss is the same thing. Did you know you could cure weight loss without having to take any kind of pills? Yada, yada. Let me see if this is focused here. There we go. Yeah, stop taking all the pills. Acknowledgement, what most people think. Most people think that you have to take pills, that you have to work out really hard, and you got to do a bunch of sit-ups to lose weight. And that's just not true. I'm going to tell you the truth. Click. The truth is you can actually lose weight, and it has nothing to do with having to work out. It has nothing to do with having to cut calories. It has nothing to do with having to eat a bunch of garbage food. You don't have to only eat chicken and broccoli. Let me tell you how I know. I know because I live that lifestyle. I don't eat chicken and broccoli, although I have it sometimes when I make it really well. I have drinks. I love wine. I live this life and I live with a 6-pack year round. Next, the damage of believing the wrong way. Well, the damage is you're going to continue to live your life, continuing to gain weight, continuing to have problems, continuing to have ankle pains, continuing to try to do workouts, have yo-yo diets, spend a bunch of money on workout equipment, go to the gym that you don't even like going to. And you're going to end up being miserable and you're not going to get anywhere and you're going to be frustrated and that's going to suck. And nobody wants to be frustrated. And then, okay, cool. So how did you fix it? Well, I fixed it by putting together a guide. It's completely free. It's a guide that's going to walk you through exactly what you need to do with your nutrition. I'm going to give you some diet. I'm going to give you some recipe examples. I'm going to walk you through everything that you would need to be able to do to get this right in the next 30 days. Confirm your email below and I'll give it to you. Confirm email. Okay, great. So you want this free guide? That's great. Here's a link to it below. Bam. Right? Like Linda said, I knew what you're talking about. I could sell anything using this structure. And I want you guys to understand whatever it is that you're selling can be sold using this exact structure. And so that's why I gave it to you. Attention, acknowledgement, aggravate, authority, angst, ambiguity, and appeal. Make sure you guys pay attention to all of that because again, all of this stuff that you're going to be selling can be sold just like this. And this is a reverse, essentially it's like a reverse lead magnet where, like, you notice I'm not asking for the email until the ambiguity stage, right before the appeal stage. But at that point, they want what I have, not the other way around. I'm not trying to convince them that they need the thing that I have yet. They want it in the ambiguity phase. If I asked for the email in the beginning, people wouldn't go through all of that sequence, right? And what I love is this works perfectly as a bot, because you can ask questions to get to the next stage. Like the attention, would you be interested if I was able to get yada, yada, yada? Yes. Okay. They click. Now they're like bringing something into the experience. It's not just you shouting at them like a sales letter would be. This is what's really, really important. A sales letter is here it is. It's a just, here's all the information. I don't have any way of holding back, because I can't let you tell me what you want out of this. With a bot, we can do that. We can force people through these steps. The more information that you give, the better off you're going to be. So if you're trying to sell Groove in the authority phase, talk about what you've done. Paige, I know you've actually killed it with Groove. Talk about how much you've made in that. Hey, I was able to actually generate, $18,000 in commissions using this or using that. And this is the one thing that I found was that it did this. Give yourself that authority. And even if you haven't done anything, guess what you have done? You've made websites. Go in there and make a website in an hour. And now you've made a website in an hour, right? It doesn't have to be money. It's whatever your target audience is potentially looking for, time saving, all this stuff. Use that. Whatever your leverage is. Alexi made over 10 grand. So there's your authority. Here's the truth, right? I know it's the truth because here's me doing it. That's pretty powerful. And then you get to the ambiguity appeal phase, which I think is such a cool thing. Like, here's how we fixed it. Do you want it? Here's my free lead magnet. I fixed it by doing this. All of you guys can use my free book as a lead magnet. All of you guys can use a bunch of other things and like leverage those lead magnets to promote your business. And then that lead magnet, you follow up 2 hours later. Hey, did you love the lead magnet? Now you've provided them this. Well, I've also got this thing. And in my case, with the bot that I just made for you guys, with that particular bot, what was I going to say? I'm promoting training, right? So I'm giving them training at the end of this. Oh, it's so sad that you don't have Messenger. Here's all these things that are going to happen if you don't get Messenger. Why don't I just give you a bunch of free training? So I give them the free training, but the free training is my best sales funnel ever. I sold more on that free training than any other funnel that I've ever had because of the next thing that I need to teach you guys. I wasn't intending on going this long, but it'll only take about 15, 20 more minutes. If that's cool with you guys, because I want to be able to get into this before we go to tomorrow. So check this out. Okay. The reason my funnel was so productive was because of my use of Messenger to be able to get people over to the platform, my use of Messenger to deliver goods during the process. But you guys are going to be using email, right? I have an email system, right, that I call my 3x3. Everybody here put 3x3, 3x3. This is an incredibly important email marketing structure. Okay. The reason I called it 3x3 is because it's 3 types of emails, and there's 3 reasons in these emails that people are going to buy. Okay. 3 different types of emails that you send over a period of 7 to 8 days. Okay. And in those emails, there's different things that are going to make those people buy. Okay. I want to give this, and it's only take about 10 minutes. Let's cover the 3 types of emails. The types of emails that you're going to send people. Number 1, content. Okay. That's got to be your first email. Don't come right out the gate like, hey, go do this. Let me give you an example. You're trying to sell Groove. Okay. You're trying to sell Groove, and you get somebody on your email list and you do a good job. You get them into your group. Email number 1 goes out. Hey, did you join Groove Unlimited? Here's all the things you get. They haven't even had a chance to really introduce themselves to it. Okay. Or you do this. Email number 1, how to turn nothing into a perfect website, right? Inside, you tell them exactly what to do. There's a template. It looks like this. Here's a little screenshot. I clicked on that. Then I added this content. I did this and I did that. You give them like an instructional on how to make their first website. And you say, and by, again, it's all free. I just wanted to show you how to get your first website up. Email number 2 could be content again, right? Maybe now it's like how to get your first email series set up. Now you're creating a need in that person to buy the thing that you're selling. Can I get a yes for everybody who understands that content actually does sell? It just does it in a different way. It creates the need. You educate people to buy your thing. Here's the best explanation for this ever. The reason my funnels work so well and the reason my 3-day funnel works so well is because people come to that funnel not knowing anything about Messenger. And I spend 4 hours a day for 3 days educating them on all of the potential of Messenger. By the end, they now think, oh my God, I need Messenger. Look at all the power. But I haven't had to really sell them on anything. It wasn't like a structured sales copy, but we still made a good amount of money off of it. Why? Because now they are educated as to their need for my thing, right? That's a big aha moment for a lot of you guys. A lot of you have been out there just trying to sell, not listening. If you listen and educate people, they are then perfect people to buy the thing that you need. And that's huge. So content is big. The next kind of email is a pre-frame email. These are great when you have events coming up. These are great when you have a sale coming up. Something like a, hey, it's coming. Here's what we're going to be doing. I love those. I use those when I'm about to launch a new funnel. Okay. Joseph said, he sent out a lot of emails trying to sell Chatmatic. If you send out emails trying to promote our 3-day funnel, it's usually a little bit better. Just promote the free training, the free techniques that they're going to get. So pre-frame. This is getting into their mind that something's coming. This is where the switch starts to happen, right? We went from content. Like, again, here's how you make your website. Here's how you build your email. The next one might be, how to go unlimited. Now it's just an email with no real push. Doesn't have to be a real pushy email, but it basically just says, like, look, all these things that you just noticed in Groove, they're amazing. Hopefully by now you have a website built. Hopefully by now you have this. Hopefully you have subscribers. As you start to use this, you're really going to build your business on a whole new level. And I just wanted to make sure that you guys understood pretty soon, this unlimited deal, go check out this thing. It doesn't have to be right now, but note it's coming. I'm not pushing hard, but I am educating them as to the unlimited lifetime offer that Groove makes. Then we have a sales email, which is an email that you send out. That's goal is, I want to make money from this email hardcore. I want to show you guys some stats here. It's funny because a lot of people, like I've talked to, especially when I'm discussing, email, a lot of people will say, well, Travis, that email didn't make as much as that email. And it's because they don't understand that not all emails are intended to be the same. They're not all intended to sell things. So let's look at my emails from the last, my broadcasts. Hold on. From the last, we're going to go here. From October to December. And this doesn't include affiliate promotions. This is literally just any email that I've sent. Let me share my screen. This is statistics on any email that I've sent in the last 2 months. We generated $104,000 in the last 2 months sending emails. So again, don't sleep on emails, but I want to show you this. If you notice, this email got 2,300 clicks and only made 4,000. But this email got 2,000 clicks and made 27,000. This one got less clicks and made 7,000. This one got almost no clicks and made no money. 10 grand, 8 grand, no money. 7 grand, no money. 5,600, 5,900, $0, right? Now, why is that? Travis, that doesn't make any sense. You've got this great list. Why aren't you making money every day? Because I would rather make $27,000 in one email than have to send 27 emails making 1,000. You understand? There's a context to it. Some of them are content emails. Some of them are pre-frame emails. Some of them are sales emails. Hey, this is it. Now, how do you structure those emails? This is the second part of the 3x3. So the first 3 email types are, you've got to know going in, is this email going to be content? Is it going to be a pre-frame, or is it going to be a sales email? It's okay to do them out of order, right? Now, the next part of the 3x3 is the 3 reasons that people buy. Okay. So when you're going into making a sales email or a content email, you need to understand that there are 3 things that are going to make this person buy the thing that you want them to buy. Okay. This is it. The 3 reasons are emotion. That's the first. So let's say I'm writing a content email, and I'm writing this content email describing how I felt when I made my first website. That can totally be a thing that helps you sell. Okay. You can absolutely sell using that without it being in a sales email. You understand the difference? Can I get a yes for you guys who understand? Just because you are using one of the reasons that people buy, it doesn't instantly make it a sales email. It depends on how you frame it. So again, if it's a real content email and I'm describing that sensation that I got when I made my first affiliate sale, that's going to kind of sell them, right? That's going to be a reason that they buy in the future, but it's going to be based in my content. Next, another reason people buy, logic. So let me go back. Emotion can be used in content, in a pre-frame, and in a sales email. In a content, it might be a story, right? In a sales email, it's an anecdote. And that's a little different, right? The anecdote is like a small little story of those emotions. Remember when I told you the story about, how I started my business online and that first time I made $10,000 and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is how I did it. Go here and grab this now. You see how now we take that opportunity to push content to them that they enjoy. They get to know me now. They know a little bit about my story. They feel like I'm a real person. Content made them understand more about the product as well. And now I can reference that in the future and be like, hey, here's this, right? Here's this thought, that emotion, trigger it again. Boom. The next type of reason that people buy is logic. I am a logical buyer. Now, I want to know from you guys, how many of you feel like you type emotion if you feel like you would buy off of hearing more of the story? Most people are emotional buyers. Or are you more logical? I'm way more logical. I've got to be able to compute A and B. Like I've got to be able to be like, yo, I don't know. And if you ever said that you suffered from, if you ever think that you suffered from shiny object syndrome, you're emotional. You're buying from emotion. You're not buying from logic, because there's no logic in buying a bunch of different things. There isn't any. It's emotion, right? Female, it depends. That's true. Yeah. So logic tends to be what males think they're buying from, but a lot of males are still buying with emotion. Males will be like, oh, this totally makes sense, because if I use it, and here's where they justify with emotions, then I can actually quit my job and I can do this. And it'd be so great to take a vacation. So you're actually buying from emotion. You just like to cast it as logic. So don't think that you're above being emotional buyer. So it's emotion, logic. And then here's where a lot of you are. I am the same way. And a lot of us got sucked into this on this weekend with Black Friday and Cyber Monday. The third reason people will buy is scarcity. Okay. Scarcity. This is the most powerful, right? I think these are absolutely the most powerful because, and that email where I made 27,000, that was me saying, hey, this is it. This is the last chance you have, right? Literally the subject line of the email was final notice, closing now. Because some people are emotional buyers, some people are logical buyers, but we all get something extra out of knowing this is our last chance to get it. Because in today's world, we have access to everything. We can always get this deal. A lot of you guys will email, you know that you're a subject of the FOMO. When you email a company and you say, hey, I saw that I got in on this deal, but I see that the deal's still available. What's going on? If you care that much about the fact that they're still making an offer to people, then you just feel like you got duped into FOMO, which is okay. But a lot of times they will close out deals. We do a lot of it. We do like little micro changes to an offer. And then we close that offer and change it for the next person. Even though the price might be similar, they're not getting exactly the same thing. And that's how we get around it. But I'm telling you, those three, that 3x3 is big. So when you're going into writing your email, what you should always ask yourself when you're writing an email sequence is, okay, is this going to be content, a pre-frame for something, or a sales page or a sales message, right? FOMO is fear of missing out. Somebody said, what is FOMO? So you're going to ask yourself ahead of time, what is this supposed to be? Is it supposed to be content? Is it a pre-frame for something else? Am I about to so great example. I am going to be rolling out Chatmatic Pro Academy next week. Big week. I'm going to be sending emails out that pre-frame Chatmatic Pro Academy's training that's coming up. And then I'll have emails that come out after that are actually sales. Our Chatmatic Pro Academy is like our biggest thing. I'm actually, guys, I think this is cool because I've never done this. It's an 8-week coaching program where we actually coach you for 4 weeks into how to be a super affiliate, 4 weeks how to actually take that information and turn it into an agency. But listen to this. What we've done is we meet 2 times a week in Pro Academy. We meet Monday and Thursday. Thursday, you guys do the talking. Mondays, I do the teaching. And then Thursdays, you come back and you would say, hey, here's what I was able to do. I have this question. Here's my accomplishment. You get to hear from other people as well. But this year is the first time ever. I've done this now 3 times and I've learned from every single one. And the one thing that I learned this last time was I need to be able to deliver almost one-on-one accountability to people. So what I did was I actually got our best, this is cool. I got our best performing members who are running agencies or affiliates to come on as coaches. And I'm assigning every coach 10 students essentially from Pro Academy. I meet with your coach once a week and he tells me what's going on in his group of 10. That way I can be like, hey, tell Paula to do this. And it's like, I actually get this connection so that people aren't going through an 8-week program wondering like, okay, this is a great program. I'm getting a lot of information. I'm seeing the exact step-by-step. It's 8 weeks. So it's long enough to actually get into the flow. But I had this one question. You have a coach who can help you get through it. And you're going to have them coming to me saying, hey, what would you suggest? I'm telling you what, man, Pro Academy is going to be freaking dope. It's this, I'm telling you right now, if you've never had a coach, and this isn't a pitch for this at all, but if you've never had a coach, I've seen the dramatic change from people who had like very little happening. They join the coaching program, they get a fire lit underneath them. Because number one, it's not cheap, but number two, it's like this real path. It's a real, you're meeting every single week, you get into the groove, and it just works. It just works. Joseph said, will this teach the $1,000 a month with agencies? The goal of the Pro Academy is to get everybody making $5,000 a month and or pay for the program by the end. And I will tell you this, last year when we did Pro Academy, we had 30% of people get their first client by week 4, which is pretty amazing. And those clients are paying anywhere between $500 to $1,000, $2,000 a month. So we teach you in 4 weeks how to get the skills using Chatmatic to generate leads, then how you actually approach businesses, the exact structure that we use. I'm not here to pitch that today, but it's pretty awesome. Yeah, you actually get sales calls with me where you get to see demos of me actually pitching people on the phone, my exact sales script that we use. We're actually going to be giving people a list of 5,000 potential clients. Like there's a lot that goes into it, but Pro Academy is definitely our number one. But I was already thinking about this in my head, like, man, you know, these emails are a great example of like, I'll be sending emails that pre-frame the idea of like, hey, how would you like to work with somebody one-on-one, even though I'm not selling anything in that email, right? Can I get a yes for everybody who understands that difference? That's like a pre-frame. Is like, I'm going to be talking content to people, not selling them anything. And then the next time I do come with an offer, they're more likely to pay attention to it because I don't make an offer every time. But maybe actually a great example of a pre-frame would be to talk about why people need a coach. That's the number one way to do it, right? You like to be coached or not to be coached. And then you tell people what the benefits are of having a coach. Now, the next time, whenever it's like, hey, we have our one-on-one coaching program coming out, then they already have that thought in their mind. Like, oh, I would love to have a coach. Actually, I remember thinking that. So it's this pre-framing idea that's not to be overlooked, is I guess what I'm saying. So you can do that with Groove. You can do that with Chatmatic, the whole deal. Now, look, we're done for today. We covered learning and leveraging groups pretty much all the way through. We haven't talked about going into other people's groups. We didn't have time. Persistent menu, automations, and my email 3x3, as well as our Contrarian copy. I've got some tasks for you guys today. All right. So let me go and grab... I got the Covert Influencer PDF that I'm actually mailing to basically all of you guys. I'm going to give you the actual PDF now, which is the like step-by-step sort of blueprint for all of this, not the book, which they're a little bit separate. They're called the same thing, but they're a little separate. One's more of like a guide. One of them is a legitimate book. I'm going to... This is the actual book link. Make sure grab it now. Grab it now. It'll be with the replay if you guys need it as well, but there it is. So what I want you guys to do right now is I want you to start thinking about a contrarian sequence that you can use, that you could write, that you could make for something. Okay? I don't care what offer it's for. It could be for Groove. It could be for Chatmatic. It could be for your own offer. It could be for another workshop you're doing. It could be for a masterclass. It could be for whatever you sell. But just go through the process. Write it down if you have to. Make the bot if you're really up for it. I'd love to see you guys make those sequences. That's step number one. I'd love to see you just write it down. Just get in the groove of going through the Contrarian copy sequence. Then I want you guys to read this guide, which for me is taking a year to load, which is not ideal. But this guide is going to walk you through everything that you need. It's this right here. We're already shipping it to your guys' house, but we're ready to go through this. This is going to explain everything in the 7-step guide for actually being able to use Messenger with free traffic and your m.me link to start generating some leads. And then we're going to cover ads and some other things tomorrow. Then I want you guys to go into these groups that you were approved into, and I want you to start reading what's going on, engage in that group, maybe make a post in that group if you feel up for it. And then lastly, I would really like, and the link does work. So Naheem, the link does work. You have to give it like a while. It's this PDF. It's still loading for me. It's a massive file. So you have to literally like give it 5 minutes and then come back. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to write down or think about 5 things that you can post about in your group. So I'll show you guys my screen here. It did pop up. It just took me a while. It is a very long to open PDF, but it is great. You can see, literally, you'll just go through the whole PDF. I don't know why. Oh, there it goes. So it's got a bunch of really cool visuals in it. Absolutely huge. But you want to go through it step by step, get the feel for it. So last thing is I want you guys all to come up with 5 things, 5 pieces of content that you think you could share to your fan page that would then be eligible to be shared into one of these groups that you have recently joined. This doesn't have to be rocket science. This could be actually great example. In the book that I gave you yesterday, there's a section called the 56-40-3 rule. The 56-40-3 rule is absolutely insanely powerful to all internet marketing businesses. You could write up your own little summary of it and be like, here's a 2-page guide as to why most people fail with Facebook. And you either maybe make it into a video or you make it into a link and you post the whole thing, right? And you share that on your fan page and then you share it into a group. Okay. if you share that into a group, you're going to get some attention. I've done it before and it works like gangbusters. If you do a video, that is a little bit better, describing the 56, 40, and 3 rule, doing it on a whiteboard, whatever. But I want you guys to think about 5 things that you could post about on your page and that you would be able to share into groups. Okay. So Rob said, isn't the same book you shared yesterday? Was yesterday different? Yesterday was different. Totally different book. I assure you, if you click on them both, you will notice immediately they are different. But these are things that you guys can do. I want to share this with you guys real quick. The number one most viral post I ever made was it was an outline. It was a PDF that had every Facebook targeting option on it. So it was like all the demographics, all the psychographics, all that stuff. And it just had them all listed. This is all public information. This isn't something I like, whatever. I hired a graphic designer for $100. I posted it on my fan page, right? And then I shared that image into groups. That's it, right? That's all I did. I got 2,500 comments. I got 1,800 shares on my thing because people wanted it. They liked it. It was good value. If you can bring value into groups, you can actually absolutely generate an audience. You're going to have some people in the group who hate on you for, potentially making a post or whatever, but keep it valuable, keep it insightful, and you won't get the hate. Go through my book, take the keynotes that you thought were important. Go through yesterday's notes, take the keynotes that you thought were important, make a post about it, post it in a group, and you will get action. People will start to follow you. People will start to get into your realm, right? And then that gets people into your bot, engaging with people, helping people, providing value. So a couple of little housekeeping notes here at the end. Guys, replays are always on YouTube. Replays are always in our group. Replays are always going to be in the Accelerator group. So I want you guys right now, that's where it's going to be. They're always one day behind. So Accelerator will be there tomorrow. YouTube is going to be there as soon as we hit done. So go to the Travis Stevenson on YouTube and you'll find it. Aside from that, tomorrow we've got Facebook ads. We're going to be starting literally by day 5. I want to start a Facebook ad to a new sequence. So we'll have that going for us. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to being able to get some Facebook ads running to show you guys how we're using paid media to be able to get people into our bot sequences. I really do think that's going to be a big piece to kind of pull a lot of this together for you guys, get you some cold audiences. I prefer not to use Facebook ads if I can, just because that's completely cold audience. There's no reference of history there. I like going into groups. I like engaging with people. That helps you out for sure. Awesome. So I will absolutely see all of you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, you might be getting an email change for the time tomorrow. It might be a lot earlier. I'm trying to make it possible for people from other countries to be able to potentially join. But you'll probably get an email from my email list tonight letting you know what time. And then tomorrow, the reminder email will tell you exactly what time we're meeting here. But just make sure you guys are ready to roll, get your homework done, and we'll see all of you guys tomorrow. I can see a bunch of questions, but I can't get to all of them. But I see that, yeah, it's pretty late for a lot of you guys. Groove does have a webinar from 11 to 1, from 2 to, oh yeah, it's Pacific Standard Time, 2 to 4. Cool, guys. Well, my training is better, so just keep that in mind.